Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I'm back with our book club today. So I have a few minutes before I have to dash into St. Pat's to do some teaching this morning. So I thought I would jump on with the spare time that I have here to read a little bit more of our Break the Mould by Sinead Burke. So we're all the way up as far as chapter 6, and this is chapter 6, to have a voice. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful summer so far. My little lad is down at Mathletics summer camp, so he is having lots of fun. But of course it's Thursday, and anybody who goes to summer camps knows that Thursdays is sore legs day. So thinking of all the children who are in their summer camps today, stay strong guys, 2 days to go, and then you can rest at the weekend. Okay, so we are in chapter 6, page 127, and it says, have you noticed that some people seem to have the gift of speaking? Their words are interesting and engaging. They draw you in. They want to listen to what they want to listen to what you are saying. Being able to use your voice in this way is a powerful tool. If you can get people to listen to you, to engage with what you are saying, you can start to make changes and break the mold in all sorts of ways. Remember that it is really important to be a good listener too. Collecting, practicing, and growing comfortable with words and language is the first step to having and using your voice. But you also need to be confident and believe that your voice is worth listening to. Hey Dawn, can you see I'm wearing my vintage F.Y.I. dance club? Yeah, so I found this old hoodie when I was clearing out the shed. Still fits, yay. Okay, so do you feel like yours is not good enough? That your voice, your perspective, and your ideas are not interesting or not important? That other people should speak and you should just listen? I used to believe this. I would often catch myself thinking that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't interesting, I wasn't important, and I shouldn't speak. I spent too much time comparing myself to other people, trying to sound, think, speak, and write like them. Thinking like this is very damaging to your confidence, but one moment completely changed how I thought about myself and showed me the importance of using my voice. Have you ever heard of a TED Talk? It's a collection of speeches about people's ideas and perspectives to help change how we view the world. It's difficult to pick a favourite, but I have 3. So here's Sinead's 3 favourite TED Talks. The first is called A Love Story for the Coral Reef Crisis by Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson. She is an American marine biologist, which means she studies the oceans and the plants and the creatures that live there. In her TED Talk, she describes the parrotfish, a species of fish with mouths that look like parrot beaks. Did you know that they are known as the lawnmowers of the oceans? Or that they poop fine white sand? Or that just before they go to sleep they grow a mucus bubble that completely covers them and masks their scent from predators? I didn't. But although it sounds like parrotfish can look after themselves, they do need our help. With pollution, climate change and plastic in our oceans, there aren't as many fish in the sea as there once were. In her speech, Ayanna explained that we can use our voices, our choices, and put pressure on politicians to make sure that the parrotfish continues to swim in the sea. Isn't that interesting? I did not know that. So Sinead then says her second favourite TED Talk, so if you just joined us, she's talking about her favourite TED Talks, about how what we speak about changes our perception. The second is called An Ode to Living on Earth by Oliver Jeffers. He is a writer, artist and illustrator from Northern Ireland. In his TED Talk, he describes a conversation between him and his 0-year-old son. Yes, 0. Jeffers tells his son that Earth, our planet, is home to everything we know and have ever heard of. But how can anyone re-describe it and how it all works? It's land and seas, a place where time moves fast and slow. A home for people who come in all different shapes, sizes and colours. People who may look different, act different and sound different, but are actually the same. We're all people. So how would you describe Earth? Simply people live here, a reminder that the obvious things are not always obvious until you think about them. Okay, so her third favourite TED Talk is called The Danger of a Single Story by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Oh, I hope I got that right. She's a Nigerian writer who started reading at the age of 2. In the books she read, the characters were white with blue eyes, who ate apples and played in the snow. So when Chimamanda began writing her own stories, her characters were white with blue eyes, who ate apples and played in the snow. But Chimnanda lived in Nigeria. She didn't eat apples, she ate mangoes, and she had never seen the snow before. She wrote what she read, leading her to believe that the only stories that mattered were those that already existed. Chimnanda reminds us that children with black skin should exist in books, and we each have the power to write our own stories. Those 3 speeches have been viewed millions of times and have changed how the world thinks about the oceans, the earth, and stories. To my surprise, I was invited to give a TED Talk about 3 years ago. I was asked to speak about my disability and design, the ways in which the world was not built for me. I was a teacher, a writer, and an activist. I wasn't a designer. I felt I wasn't the right person to give the talk. I didn't believe in myself or my experiences. I said no. I turned TED down. A moment that changed my life in so many brilliant ways almost didn't happen. And that was because I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't believe in myself, not fully. But luckily I told my parents, my siblings, and some friends, and they convinced me to change my mind. When someone gives a TED Talk, they present their speech to a live audience, but they have no script, nor is anyone prompting them with the next word or line. Like an actor, you have to perform it from memory. So now she describes how she got about doing her TED Talk. So if you ever have a dream to do a TED Talk, you might want to listen to this bit. So step 1, I needed to write my speech. I spent hours looking at a blank page and couldn't stop thinking, what would a Yana, Oliver, or Chimnanda write? I tried to think and write like them. I use words and phrases that don't come naturally to me. I want to trick the audience into thinking that I am just like them. I don't want them to know that I am just Sinead. I submit the first draft of the talk and the feedback is, it doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like me because I'm using other people's words and phrases. I'm hiding my experiences, my voice, and me. So step 2, I start again. This time I write the speech in my own voice and in my own words. I use language to hold a mirror to my experience and proudly show the audience who I am. It is honest and it is so much better. Step 3, the dress rehearsal. I can't remember the speech. My fingers feel like icicles and my pulse is thumping. I know it. I have memorized it. I know that I know. Why can't I remember it on stage when it really matters? Step 4, breathe. The back of my neck is hot, my palms are clammy, and my hands and voices are shaking. Voice is shaking. I am so nervous I can't think of anything but being nervous. I need to do something. I'm in an accessible bathroom standing in front of the sink and mirror. I take a deep breath and exhale to lower my shoulders and calm the tension in my neck. Staring at my reflection, at myself, I say, this is your story. No one can tell this story like you because this is your story. You are good enough just as you are. You are interesting. You are important. I take one more deep breath and walk backstage, calming the ball of anxiety that lives in my chest. One of the stage assistants finds me and says, Sinead, you're up next. Step 5, showtime. I can feel the heat of the spotlights. I can make out the silhouettes of the people sitting in the first few rows, but everyone else fades into the darkness. I start speaking, narrating my physical journey from my home in Ireland to New York. I can feel the energy from the audience. They want to hear my story. They laugh, they gasp, and they become quiet and thoughtful in parts too. As I utter my final words, the audience erupts in applause. It gets louder, and just when I think it will end, it keeps going. I smile so hard a grin stretches across my whole face. I have done it. Wow! My TED Talk is called Why Design Should Include Everyone, and it has been viewed online over 1 million times, which is almost the population of Dublin or Ottawa or Birmingham or Adelaide. It changed my life not because so many people watched it, because finally I started to believe in myself. But it nearly didn't happen for a number of reasons. One, I was nervous to try something new. I didn't want to fail or embarrass myself. I said no because it was easier to believe that I couldn't do it rather than taking a risk and giving it a try. I tried to be someone else, and I tried writing something that wasn't true to me and who I am. I put too much pressure on myself and almost caved to my nervousness. I panicked, I worried, and panicked and worried. Now that you know what to do, it's your turn. If I can do it, you can do it too. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there on page 138, talking about finding your voice. This is such a great book. I highly recommend that you get this. This is one you probably want to read again and again. It's called Break the Mould by Sinead Burke, How to Take Your Place in the World. So fantastic. And I hope I will see some of you at summer camp, not next week, but the week after. And I'm also starting my summer intensive with my group of seniors tonight, where we're going to be working on a nice, challenging, higher quality. It's really going to be challenging me as well, because I really have to think outside the box of how I'm going to bring our street dance students and our modern theatre students together. And then we're going to produce a piece of choreography to show at Perform Ireland later in the year. So exciting day for me, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer, and I'll check back in with you again as soon as I can. And don't forget, I've just released, it was the Friday Intermediates choreography. I just released it on YouTube and in the Facebook page as well. So if you want to learn some choreography, maybe you're not in a camp this week, then there's a great routine there, and we're calling it the Summer Challenge, set by Connor Kelly, who I was teaching in a school, who said that he was going to make it his mission this summer to learn that routine. So thank you, Connor, for the inspiration to put that tutorial up on YouTube today, and also to the Friday Hip Hop Intermediates who helped me create the piece. So thanks very much, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'm off to do some teaching now, and I'll check back in with you guys soon. Take care. Bye.